Fox 25 Primetime News at 9 starts right now.
Breaking news tonight, a man shoots at officers before taking hostages inside a veteran's home in California.
Authorities giving an update in just the last hour. Fox 25's Jennifer Falsetti has been following this closely for she's at the live desk tonight. Jennifer.
Well, Mike and Wendy, reporters on the ground seem to be confused as to what's going on. They just received an update from police within the last hour saying that authorities have not had contact with this gunman since 10:30 this morning local time. You're looking live now. This is in the Napa Valley where it's hard to see there because it is so dark, but it looks like they are zooming in on police helicopters. Now, that gunman has 3 people hostage at the veterans home. The gunman slipped into an employee going away party, then started shooting. Authorities say they have not had contact again with that gunman since 10:30 this morning. It's been more than 8 hours. The hostages are all employees of the Pathway Home. That is a counseling service for veterans suffering from PTSD. It's unclear what the gunman's motive was or the condition of the hostages at this point. Officials gave very few details at a press briefing. Again, that was within the last hour. They did not say whether or not they would be giving another one here tonight. Of course, we will stay on top of this for you right here at the live desk.
Tonight, we are learning a possible teacher walkout could extend beyond schools. This is a live look at the state capitol right now. All state employees could walk out next month along with teachers. The deadline has been set for April 2nd as the date teachers would leave school and fight for a pay raise. Now, the Oklahoma Public Employees Association says it's considering how to organize a walkout too. Fox 25's Will Metzel joins us live with the plans being put together. Will?
Well, the executive director of the Oklahoma Public Employees Association says low pay and underfunding services has gone on too long. It's reached a breaking point where state employees are ready to walk off the job. Oklahoma Public Employees Association Executive Director Sterling Zerly says it's gone on too long. No pay raises for employees of state agencies and lack of sufficient funding for core services. Now OPEA members are considering walking out along with teachers.
I just don't get why they cannot reach a compromise and resolve this issue, because it's going to affect the citizens of Oklahoma. You saw how yesterday it's going to affect the education system.
Zerly says there hasn't been an across-the-board raise for state employees since 2008. He's supporting $71 million more a year in the budget to fund an employee pay raise.
We've lost over almost 4,500 state employees since 2009 alone. And our salaries are 25% below market when you compare it to the private sector.
Dr. Bob Blackburn, the executive director of the Oklahoma History Center, says he's starting to think about allowing some employees to participate in the walkout.
So get leave from your job, if we can cover, and then you go join. You express yourself. We each have our own voice.
Several revenue-raising bills that include new taxes have failed in special and regular legislative sessions. Zerly hopes state workers walking out with teachers will make the difference in getting a bill passed.
And I think it's came to this point. I think people are tired of it. I mean, we all care about our public education system. We have a lot of state employees who service that community, and I think we're just tired of it.
The OPEA will hold a board meeting tomorrow morning. There they will discuss what employees can expect if they participate in the walkout. Wendy.
The OPEA says its members plan to walk out April 2nd, the same day as teachers. They tell Fox 25 this is the first time state employees have considered a walkout. And Mike, we're learning about how some local organizations are planning to step in should that walkout happen.
Yeah, Wendy, it's going to be a real mess for parents and kids who rely on school being in session. I went ahead and pulled up the Oklahoma Institute for Child Advocacy page for you right now. They're creating a database of community groups offering services for kids and families during a potential school shutdown. Groups are stepping up to make sure kids have a safe place to go and nutritious meals to eat if schools shut down. Students who typically spend time after school at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Oklahoma County will be able to spend the day there. The YMCA is also assessing what it will be able to do for kids based on DHS requirements and facility capacity limits. Now, a big concern is the hundreds of thousands of children who depend on getting food at schools. The Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma is increasing its meal production and packing more family boxes full of food to meet the potential need. These organizations certainly need the community to volunteer or to donate to help them out.
It's going to take even more effort than what the regional food bank can do. So we all have to come together to help. But if we don't do that, then children will go without meals, and families will be even more stressed in a situation where they're going to be stressed with childcare needs, with people who have to go to work but their kids are home, with those additional costs.
And there will be a meeting on Monday with the YMCA, the Boys and Girls Clubs, and several other youth development programs to talk about what everyone is doing and how to best share resources.
Happy Friday, everyone. For most of us, it's our least favorite weekend of the year. We have to spring forward. That means we technically lose an hour's sleep tomorrow night heading into Sunday morning. But the good thing is that we gain an extra hour of daylight starting on Sunday. Sunset at 7:34, and the days just keep on getting longer and longer for the next 3 months. This is also a great time for you to change or check your batteries and your smoke detectors, NOAA weather radios. I know batteries are really expensive nowadays, but still a good thing to do. A lot of clear skies outside right now as we look live across Oklahoma City. This is the Air Comfort Solutions WeatherBug Network. We are heading down to 49 tonight in Oklahoma City. A lot of people doing dinner and a movie at the Warren this evening. Not much to worry about. Patchy fog may develop overnight and a cold front does come in tomorrow. Who gets the most rain this weekend and where is severe weather most likely? Your Storm Watch 7-day in just a few minutes.
Jeff, thank you. In Choctaw County, a 2-year-old boy has drowned in a pond. It happened around 3 this morning near Sawyer. OHP says the mother noticed the boy was missing and called police. Troopers say he had wandered to a neighbor's house where that pond was.
And in just the past few hours, police released a picture of an SUV they believe was part of a deadly hit and run. Now, if you see this gold 2003 to 2006 Ford Expedition, police want to hear from you. Claudia Mandel was found dead near Reno and MacArthur last Saturday. Police believe that SUV was going southbound when it hit her. Officers tell Fox 25 the SUV involved will have damage on the front passenger side.
Right now, OHP is on the lookout for a driver who they say caused a head-on crash early this morning. Here's a look at the pictures they sent us of Toby Pedford and his car, a 2015 Hyundai Genesis. Troopers also want to hear from anyone who may have witnessed that crash or talked to Pedford in the hours before it happened. Now, it took place on I-35 in the construction zone around 12:30 this morning. Tonight, a woman in the car he hit is in critical condition at the hospital. The highway was shut down for hours while crews cleaned up. If you have information on this, call OHP.
Tonight in northeast Oklahoma, police are searching for answers after a pistol clip with 9mm rounds was found inside the Nowata Fieldhouse. For nearly 2 hours today, students holed up in their classrooms praying that this lockdown was only a drill. Now, Brian Cooler has 2 kids in Nowata schools. He was shocked to hear the school was on lockdown after ammunition was found in the weight room.
I think it's sad that it's come to this. I think it's sad that it made it to a little town. You never think it would, but it does.
Nowata police and the sheriff's office searched every bag and every school, but they didn't find anything. Police say no one has been arrested at this time. New details out of U.S. Grant High School. OKCPS security says the former student who brought a gun into the school was actually let in by other students. Text messages revealed students helped that teenager in through a side door, allowing him to bypass the school's security protocols at the main entrance. The students have been disciplined by the school. The teen who brought the gun was arrested yesterday.
Tonight in Muskogee, the search is on for an escaped inmate. The Department of Corrections says Todd Hicks walked away last night from a minimum security prison. Schools in the area were placed on lockdown today while authorities searched. Hicks is serving 2 15-year sentences for burglary in the Tulsa area.
Let's take you live to Stillwater right now, where a bail bondswoman was found not guilty of murder today. The trial lasting only 4 days, with jurors finishing deliberations just hours ago. Chastity Carey was charged with murder in the shooting death of her client, Brandon Williams. Now, this happened inside her office last August. Today, the jury watched the video of the shooting. Carey's team argued that it was self-defense. Now, the affidavit shows Williams was killed after Carey tried to take him back into custody and revoke his bond. Carey's defense said there was no doubt she pulled the trigger, but they argued she was afraid for her life.
It's the people in the facilities. They're great people, and then there are those bad apples that, no matter how hard you try, are going to affect the performance of the people around them.
The chairman of the Oklahoma Veterans Council speaking today, saying improvements need to be made at the VA. Legislation has brought about some change, allowing for outside oversight and the ability to fire poorly performing employees. The VA Medical Center is also working to raise its rating. Right now, they have a 3-star rating out of 5.
And tonight, a settlement has been reached in a deadly deputy-involved shooting. This is in Tulsa. Tulsa County settled with the estate for Eric Harris, the man shot and killed in 2015 by Reserve Deputy Robert Bates. The county agreed to pay $6 million to Harris's family. Bates served 16 months of a 4-year sentence for manslaughter for the shooting. He says at the time he thought he pulled his taser, not his gun.
We've got your back with a traffic alert that starts in just about 9 hours. This is a live look at I-235 near the construction zone tonight. It won't be a full closure as originally planned, but I-235 will be narrowed throughout the day tomorrow and Sunday. Crews are going to be working on bridge construction. The road will be narrowed to 1 lane in both directions between 36th Street and I-44 from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. this weekend. ODOT wants you to avoid that area. You can take Lincoln, Lake Hefner Parkway, or I-35.
Coming up, an urgent need for nurses all across the nation. We've got your back with how hospitals are now offering major incentives to get people to apply for jobs.
We're continuing to follow the hostage situation at a veterans home in Napa, California. I want to take you there live. This is where press are standing by waiting for California Highway Patrol to give their latest update on this situation. There's been a lot of confusion on the ground as to whether or not the situation has ended, whether or not authorities have made contact with the gunman that is holding 3 people hostage right now. Some are reporting they've seen emergency vehicles leaving the scene. Other media outlets are reporting that it appears that the gunman might be dead. Of course, once that press conference happens, we'll have that for you live right here at the live desk.
Jennifer, thank you. Tonight, the man wanted by police for involvement in a prostitution ring targeting Edmond High School girls has been arrested. Jermaine Coulter was arrested yesterday in Wichita. Investigators say he had at least 2 Edmond High School students working for him and was targeting more with the promise of money and drugs. His accomplice, Elizabeth Andrade, is still on the run. Police do have text messages tying her to Coulter and the prostitution ring.
A teen girl is recovering tonight in Texas after being trapped for hours in a deep cave. She became stuck during a guided tour of the cave with high school classmates. About 70 first responders worked to get her free. Authorities gave her medication to relax as they continued to chip away at part of the rock around her. She was taken to the hospital to get checked out. America is facing a nursing shortage, so hospitals are offering perks and incentives to attract qualified applicants. I pulled up Indeed.com to show you there are currently nearly 1,100 nursing-related jobs here in the metro. You're looking at those jobs available live right now. Across the nation, hospitals are offering 5-figure signing bonuses and college tuition for employees and their children. Others are providing free housing and up to $20,000 in reimbursable relocation costs. The American Nurses Association estimates the U.S. will need more than 1 million new registered nurses by 2022.
We've learned President Trump's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, used a Trump Organization email account during negotiations to pay off a porn star. Stormy Daniels claims to have had an affair with Trump. Trump says that it never happened. Cohen used his TrumpOrg.com email to negotiate the $130,000 payment to Daniels to keep her quiet. Daniels' attorney confirms that Cohen used his Trump Organization email to communicate details of the deal. Cohen has said he paid the money on his own with no connection to the campaign or to Trump. They've traded insults and nuclear threats. Now they are poised to sit at the negotiating table. There's a lot at stake for a meeting between President Trump and North Korea's Kim Jong-un to take place possibly in the next 2 months. Chief political correspondent Scott Thuman shows us why. Some are confident and others are concerned about a first-of-its-kind conversation.
Could these be the last North Korean missile tests we see? Will a groundbreaking meeting between President Trump and Kim Jong-un negate the threat of war?
Still a long shot, but I think the prospects are better now than they have been for some time.
Matthew Kranig, professor and author of The Logic of American Nuclear Strategy, says years of putting financial strangleholds on North Korea appear to be paying off.
He's looking to come to the table to de-escalate tensions. And I think at the end of the day, what he wants is to have his cake and eat it too. I think he wants to keep his nuclear program, but get the international pressure to relent.
He and others say that means keeping the pressure on. The administration, for now, agrees. Trump supporters confident that sanctions and tough talk
Rocket Man is on a suicide mission
are the reason for potential peace.
Because it's what dictators understand. You don't play nice and you don't do white glove diplomacy with the likes of little Kim in North Korea. Through the examples of Reagan and others, you walk softly, carry a big stick, you trust, but verify.
Though hope and reality don't always match up.
Kim Jong-un is very sly. He's very wily. He wants to be on the world stage with the U.S. president. He now has that.
Meanwhile, some experts worry that negotiations between a leader as unpredictable as Kim Jong-un and one who goes off script as often as President Trump could present, quote, especially difficult challenges. In Washington, I'm Scott Thuman.
And coming up, a strong economic report released today.
We're going to take a look at the numbers that show things may be looking up if you're searching for a job.
Fox 25 Consumer Watch has got your back when you can no longer qualify for lines of credit. The tool that could help you set things right.
And if you're going to be walking the dog to start the weekend, he's going to love you for it. Temperatures in the 50s, a little foggy, not too breezy. But when rain and severe thunderstorms are most likely tomorrow, your Storm Watch 7-day at 9:33.
We have just received an update to that hostage situation in Napa, California that we've been telling you about all night. According to our Fox affiliate in the San Francisco market, they are saying that the 3 hostages as well as the gunman have been found dead in an apparent murder-suicide at a veteran's home there. Now, the gunman, we are told, slipped into an employee going away party, started shooting at authorities around 10:30 local time this morning. So this standoff has been going on for about 8 hours or so. Authorities said that they did not have contact with the gunman since that happened. The hostages were all employees of the Pathway Home, a counseling service for veterans suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. It's unclear what the gunman's motive was at this point. We are, of course, waiting on California Highway Patrol to address the media. That's what you were looking at right there. Once that happens, we will have that for you live right here at the live desk.
A new report today shows the U.S. added 313,000 jobs in February. That's much stronger than experts expected. It's the biggest gain since July of 2016. The unemployment rate stayed at 4.1%. That's the lowest in 17 years, and wages grew 2.6% compared with a year earlier. Coming up, we're hearing the terrifying moments parents and students in Parkland called 911 during that school shooting.
And opposition to President Trump's steel and aluminum tariffs mounting right now. How members of his own party say this problem should be handled.
Happening today, Florida school shooter Nicholas Cruz will continue to be held without bond following a judge's ruling. Appearing via video conference, Cruz hung his head as he stood next to his attorney at the bond hearing. Police say Cruz admitted to opening fire at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School last month, killing 17 people. Now, he is charged with 17 counts of premeditated murder and 17 counts of attempted murder. The public defender says Cruz is willing to plead guilty to avoid the death penalty, but as of Thursday, he declined to enter a plea. Tonight, we are hearing newly released 911 calls from that day. Listen.
911, what is your emergency?
Yes, I just got a call from Douglas High School. A female on the line advised that they believe there's a shooter at the school.
I love you. It's going to be fine. Can you hide somewhere? Can you play dead? You need to. If you need to play dead.
And now Florida Governor Rick Scott has signed a school safety and gun control bill.
The new law will allow some teachers and staff to carry guns on campus. It will also raise the age to purchase a firearm from 18 to 21. The new law requires a 3-day waiting period for firearm purchases with some exceptions, and it bans the sale or possession of bump stocks, which allow a semi-automatic weapon to fire more like an automatic weapon.
Politics in D.C. seems to always get in the way of actually enacting measures that will help American families. As a businessman, I have always rejected the idea that government has to be slow. Today should serve as an example to the entire country that government can and must move fast.
The $500 million package also includes requirements for mental health and safety programs in schools. These are the first gun control measures passed in Florida in the past 20 years.
The thing that makes them secured is that you have to put up a deposit in order to get a line of credit.
That's right, putting down a deposit to get a credit card. Secured credit cards aren't just for people with less than ideal credit.
Fox 25's Maria Garcia's got your back with how they work and how to use them to your advantage. Here's tonight's Consumer Watch.
It may sound strange, but when we're talking about secured credit cards, it's not uncommon to put down several hundred to $1,000. The goal is to help build your credit score.
There are ways to use plastic responsibly, but if you've gotten in trouble with credit cards in the past, it can affect your ability to get new lines of credit. A secure credit card can help rebuild your credit score. You pay a deposit and you get 50 to 100% of that amount in credit.
With secured credit cards, the interest rates are a little bit higher. There are higher fees associated with them because they're not issuing it to you based on your credit history.
Secure credit cards are also an option for people who don't have much credit history, like a college student. The amount of credit is low enough that users should be able to keep up with the payments.
You are still required to make payments, and you're required to make those payments on time. So if your payment history on those secured credit cards are not on time, you're defaulting on those payments, those are going to get reported to the credit bureaus.
Eris Rogers II with the Penny Hoarder says that users can use secure credit cards to practice responsible use. If you keep your use low and pay off the card regularly, you may be ready for a traditional credit card.
You would only get the deposit back if you close that account, and that account is in good standing as well. Maria Garcia, Fox 25 Consumer Watch.
Financial specialists say it's also important to shop around when it comes to secure credit cards. Even though interest rates tend to be higher on them, each company has its own deals.
We're continuing to follow that breaking news out of California. A California state trooper just addressed the media briefly, saying they will have more details here in just a few minutes. You are looking live there. This is in Napa, California. That is where we hear from our sister station, the Fox affiliate there, that the gunman, as well as 3 hostages at a veteran's home, have all been found dead. Now, you'll remember we've been reporting this all day long. This first started just over 8 hours ago. There has been a hostage situation ongoing with police for over 8 hours there, but of course that is wrapping up now. We are just waiting to learn some new details from state troopers there in California. Once we do, we'll have those for you right here at the live desk.
You can come out to the Severe Weather Expo to meet some of our meteorologists, like this guy here at Fox 25. Tell us about this big event. It's exciting.
And we're mostly going to be talking about severe weather safety to help you find your safe spot in your home, keep yourself and your family safe. But we also have a lot of gifts and goodies for our viewers or anybody else that may come out. This is one of them. This is like a little keychain fan that we have. So you turn it on. Can you feel it?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay, the sound effect does not come with the fan.
Right. And if so in the summertime when it's 99 degrees, this will make it feel like about 98, maybe 98 and a half.
Huge difference. And you'll be really happy you have it, I'm sure.
We have a lot of other great stuff, and here's how you do it. What you do is, okay, there's the full screen for the Severe Weather Expo tomorrow. It's at Penn Square Mall. That's the most important thing, from noon to 4. And meet the whole entire Fox 25 weather team, our team of trackers. And again, a lot of good stuff. stuff. And how you get those things, you see where Marcy is standing right there, and everyone's going to be smiling just like that, by the way. So you spin this wheel, you get a prize. You also have to answer a question about maybe, where your safe spot is at. Do you have a plan? How do you receive severe weather alerts? Because that's the main thing with this expo. We want to make sure you are planned and prepared for severe weather this upcoming season. There's the green wall too. We're going to bring this baby with us so the kids can have fun and mess around. But again, Penn Square Mall, 12 to 4. We would love to see you out there tomorrow afternoon. Right now, our next big weather maker is to the northwest. It's not really that far away, and it does swing through Oklahoma tomorrow. The problem is that when it does come through the state, most of the energy will stay east and northeast parts of the state, and that's where most of the rain is going to wind up tomorrow. 40s and 50s tonight, maybe even some 30s squeaking into northwest Oklahoma and back into the Panhandle, but we do start off your Saturday and your weekend in the 50s. It will be foggy here and there, so again, not a pretty start to the weekend. Mostly cloudy and cool, up to 61 at 11. Middle to upper 60s tomorrow afternoon, so way into the 60s. That'll make it nice and pleasant, mainly dry. Hit or miss showers come in the afternoon and evening. That's for central and western Oklahoma. A stray shower is possible. Your chances are about 10–30%. So a lot of dry time tomorrow if you want to make some plans. It's not going to be very breezy, but it will be very cloudy. And your best chance of showers once again in the afternoon and evening out to the east. Your main threat of